Let's listen to this man. He got some good news for you. Hey, everybody, gather near. The doctor's in the house, so lend him your ear. The things he can say might even make your day. He might even help your pain go away. The doctor is in the house.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me get this microphone over here. Maybe you can hear me a little better. Trying to live stream on Substack while also recording for Podbean. So we'll see how this works out. Because I want to bring to you today a title of something that you're not going to hear a lot about. You're going to hear a lot about silent inflammation because I've been talking about it for a year now. But I want to talk to you today about silent inflammation and the oxytocin connection, a signal that we've been missing. You know, oxytocin is that hormone that you get released when you hug. So I'm Dr. Ron. I do not filter the truth. I amplify it. And let me start with something I've said before, and it is a really important concept in modern medicine. By the time disease has a name, the fire has already been burning for years. You just don't get heart disease, atherosclerosis, cancer overnight. It's been going on for years. And I call that fire the silent inflammation. It doesn't show up in standard tests. It doesn't trigger alarms early, but it is the soil in which heart disease, dementia, diabetes, and even cancer begin. I've been talking about this, especially at the cellular level with Professor Brian Peskin, how damaged cells cause you to feel fatigued, just not quite right, but all your tests are normal. This is really what is going on here. So here's the question. What if we've been looking at inflammation all wrong? What if it's not just about toxins, diet, lifestyle? How about maybe it's a loss of biological signals? So let's talk about one of the most overlooked signals in human biology, oxytocin. Most people know this, oxytocin, as the cuddle hormone. You get it when you hug. But sorry to say that's an oversimplification. Oxytocin is not just about bonding. It's a neuropeptide that functions as both a hormone and a neuromodulator. It influences our brain, stress response, immune signaling. And as we're now learning, it can influence aging itself. Let's dive a little deeper down this rabbit trail. Recent research in aging models has revealed something extraordinary. As organisms age, oxytocin levels decline. At the same time, we see a cascade of changes. Our DNA methylation increases. What does that mean? It means genes are being silenced. We have declining mitochondrial function. The cell's energy systems begin to fail. We have less energy. We have rising inflammation. And that is the fire that I have been talking about for the past year. No, not a coincidence. What we're finding out, ladies and gentlemen, this is a vicious cycle, a vicious biological cycle. Less oxytocin, more methylation, weaker mitochondria, more inflammation, less oxytocin, and the merry-go-round goes round and round. And here's where it gets interesting. In experimental models, restoring oxytocin signaling did not just tweak one variable. It appeared to push an entire system. Within days, inflammatory markers dropped, mitochondrial proteins improved, epigenetic enzymes were reactivated, and cellular signaling began to resemble a more youthful state. In other words, it just wasn't symptom management. It involved the whole network. It involved the system. It was network level intervention. Let me be clear, though. This has been shown in animal models, and that's really important. So it is not a green light to start self-prescribing oxytocin sprays. But ignoring this research would be a mistake because it focuses us to ask deeper questions. And that's what I've always told you to do. Question everything. Are we becoming inflamed because we are becoming disconnected? Well, think about your modern life. Less physical touching, less community, more screens, more isolation, especially in aging populations. Think about going to the doctors. They don't touch you anymore. We have engineered an environment that is quite possibly biochemically low in what? Oxytocin signaling. And what can follow? Chronic stress, sympathetic nervous system dominance. Remember my podcast on sympathetic versus parasympathetic, mitochondrial decline, and that all present silent inflammation. And so that's all going on. You're not feeling great, but you don't have a label yet. That comes later. The signal disruption comes first. And this is where modern medicine has lost its way because they chase downstream pathology. That means they chase your tests after you have the disease. Early diagnosis of cancer means you already have the cancer. It's just early stage. It's downstream. So we chase downstream pathology. We look at cholesterol numbers, blood sugar, plaques, and name the diagnosis, a billable code. But we ignore what is going on upstream. And I'm saying today, oxytocin may be one of those signals. It's not a miracle cure. It's not a magical hormone, but it's part of a regulatory network that keeps inflammation in check and cellular energy intact. So what do we do with all this information? Well, we don't jump into the pharmacist, into pharmacology. Let's go back to biology, to human biology, to connection, to touch, to trust, to community. They're not soft concepts. They are biochemical inputs. And when they are missing, you know what? Your body knows it. The mitochondria know it. Your immune system knows it. Your brain knows it. And over time, disease reflects that missing link. So here's the takeaway. Silent inflammation is not driven just by what we eat, not just by what we breathe. It may also be driven by what we do not experience. And one of those missing experiences may be the very signal that helps regulate aging itself. So I'm Dr. Ron. If you want to understand disease, we have to stop looking only at damage and start looking at the signals we've lost. So I hope you've gotten something from this today. You can subscribe to my Substack article at docronradio.substack.com. My Podbean channel with over 600 podcasts at docronradio.podbean.com. And we will try this format out again. So thank you for listening. Have a great day.
Hey everybody, Dr. Ron's finished for today. I hope you got some good wisdom for what the man had to say. If it's all about good health, he's the man you got to see. He has a lot more answers for you. So tune in next week when the doctor is in the house. Or when the doctor is in the house. And let the doctor know what's bothering you. When the doctor is in the house.